we're going to cover today, I want to go a little bit on top position. Transition from cradles, starting on top, and then obviously in on a leg from defense when the guy's in on a shot, doing a lot of different cradles. To me, I think the biggest thing when you see high school kids come into college is some of them struggle on top. And this is probably the easiest pinning combination. We feel like, outside of forearms that kids already know, this is another great offense as far as pinning combination. It's been working well for us as far as guys picking it up pretty quick. But the biggest thing is staying in great position right off the whistle and going right into the cradle. But coming on top, obviously I'm a little longer. We got guys on our team that can hit cradles that are short and stocky, and guys that are long and have a lot of good leverage. So the first thing, coming off on the whistle, I want to keep my prep. Going near side, actually going to start with the far side off an ankle pick, and then go into a near side cradle. The two series, going near side, far side, and then some different other positions when guys broken down. So the first one, obviously when I start on the whistle, I'm trying to control this guy and not allow any pressure for him to come up. So right on the whistle, one thing I learned when I was in college, I had the opportunity to work with Mark Branch, who's now the head coach at Wyoming University. But he was one of the best guys as far as leg rising and turning on top. And one thing I learned from him right off the whistle is keeping pressure on this guy before you even blow the whistle. I mean, I can put a lot of weight on this guy without the ref seeing me. I'm already driving into him with my trail leg right here. And this is stopping him already from putting weight on his hand. So if he tries to come up right now, there's already weight on it. So that's the one thing to start, and that helps transition into a lot of turns and breaking guys down, keeping that constant pressure, because obviously the best guys on top keep constant pressure on you. Same thing here, we're going to cradles. I'm going off I want to go off an ankle pick. When the whistle blows, I'm going outside ankle, and then I'm going to work to the inside, because I want to set this guy up for a far side cradle here. So as the whistle blows, I'm going to an inside chest wrap right here, so I can keep the pressure on him, and an outside ankle, just to stop his first move. Once I stop that first move, I'm going to transition this hand to the inside, right here. And I know he's probably thinking, like, heck, am I doing this? I'm going off the ankle pick, but I'm setting him up. I want him to bring himself to the cradle. And a lot of times I think people go the opposite. You try to put a guy there when he's fighting you, and it's hard to get the cradle. But if I can set him up by putting him in position there, it's a lot easier to do this. So off the whistle, I go to my ankle pick, and right here, I'm just grabbing the chest. And I'm kind of floating over here, but I'm driving in because I want to put the weight on his hands. As soon as I get that weight on his hands, I'm coming to the inside ankle over to here. And now from here, once I get this going, all I'm going to do is apply pressure on an angle to him because I want this leg to come up. So when I start driving into him, that's exactly what most guys will do, is they want to pressure back. And that's obviously what's setting up this move, because I'm going to put him in position, keeping the pressure on him right here. If he doesn't base out here, I'm going to just break him down right to the mat. But most guys are stubborn, they're going to fight you. And this is where this sets us up. So again, go here, I'm going to put pressure out. I'm on my toes, I'm not on my knees coming from here. So this puts a lot more weight, this float from here. Once I get to the inside here, I'm going to just drive in and light him, because this is what I want. Now from here, all right, I'm going to attack up high on the armpit when I get him in this position. Once I get him to here, I'm going to turn his head from here. This takes his power. Anytime I can turn a guy's head, and I know most of you guys know this, but it's obvious, and some kids forget this. If I can turn his head, I take a lot of his power away. And this will allow me to push into him from here. So that's what I'm doing when I get the crossface. I know a lot of people go to the elbow, but there's still a lot of space here for him to fight. But if I can get this up high in the armpit, right here, it takes a lot of his power away. From here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to keep driving into him. I'll even feed my outside leg to his head here. Right? Most guys can grab that, but it's not going to do anything, because I've got the power to take him away. Now from here, it's simple. But obviously, it's there to attack. But grabbing in the right position with your grip, I think is key from here. I'd like to keep this arm trapped. Most people like to get their own lock right here, but this opens the lock. If I grab right here, sometimes you see kids that can fish that arm out, and then it's hard to turn if that arm gets loose. So I keep the lock right here. A lot of our guys are getting good at this, keeping this arm trapped right here. And grabbing our own wrist from here. Now this stops him from pulling this arm out right here, and it keeps it tight. But I want to make sure I float on this side. Here. As I'm floating on this side, I get my lock, and now I can come out and take the pressure off. I think too many they come to this side. If I come to this side before I get my lock, which a lot of guys do, and some back up. If I come to this side and try to get my lock here, that, you guys they can fish out, they can come up with their head and chest, and you lose a lot of the power and leverage that you set up. So these are just key little things. Once we get going, they help. So again, I get my ankle, I come out, and I'm driving. I get my cross face, I'm gonna reach under at the bend of the knee, and I'm gonna get that lock. Once I get that lock, I'm gonna readjust, coming to this side. And now from here, I think this is one of the times when you get a cradle, you see some guys that work real good at defending. But if I can take away whatever's on the mat, it stops it. It's that much easier for me to turn. All right? If his hand or his foot's on the mat, I want to take that away from here. So if I come out here, it's a lot easier for me to stay behind this leg, use my elbow, and get this up off the mat right here. Where I see, we see a lot of guys that step up right here. These guys are good. I know he's a little short for the legs, but they can hook. We go to take them back, and you see guys get put to their own back in the cradle. But if I stay behind his body, just by floating behind his body, it eliminates a lot of that spring move. And this guy defends. You get a cradle locked up, that should be over. Doesn't matter who you're wrestling. You're dominating that position. It's hard for them to get out. So I get my cradle locked up here, and I'm going to jump out to the side, right here. Once I get here, I'm bringing this leg up. Now this is over. This power's gone. There's nothing on the mat other than his knee over here. And as I sit back right here, I'm going to keep this arm locked, fall into position right here. All right.